Hello, friends, welcome to my 10-minute report. As you know, we are going through troubled times. These are very difficult times for India, and I'll tell you why. For last almost 10 years, I have been talking about urban Naxals and their dangers. Non-stop, I have written, relentlessly, I have spoken that they are the biggest enemies of India and we must defeat them. People take it lightly. Slowly, it becomes just a social media gossip and attacking each other and trolling each other, but I always meant business. In this book, if you remember in 2018, which I was writing since 2016, even in my book, in my film, Buddha in a Traffic Jam, I have shown how the intelligentsia, the celebrities, the influencers, the Bollywood people, the international celebrities have formed a nexus to give ideological support and moral support to the enemies of India, which directly speaking are Pakistan and China hand in glove and other major economic powers, especially the big corporate powers who want an entry in India on their own terms. They want to disturb India. They don't want India to emerge as a superpower. For almost 1,000 years, you have to remember, we were ruled by forces which were not Indians. First, Mughals, the Islamic forces, then the Britishers, the Christian forces, then the Gandhi family, primarily the secular forces. For the first time after 2014, India is being ruled by rooted Indians. You may disagree with BJP, you may hate Narendra Modi, you may not like RSS, that's a political thing. But for the first time, Indian middle class, Indian small town people, the vernacular people have been empowered. And they are taking the world by storm, and that is something nobody tolerates, especially the elites of India who are so used and habitual to working for first KGB, before that Britishers, then the Gandhi family, then some business houses. They are used to be used by the vested interests. And now it's becoming very difficult for this elite class, for this privileged class and the beneficiaries of Congress's corruption of 70 years to tolerate that some vernacular person comes and questions them. And therefore, they have all come together to create anarchy and a civil war-like situation in India so that they can take over the democracy of India. I wrote in the book long time ago, and this is based on their own strategy and tactics document, which is called the Document with Urban Perspective. And this simply reads that how they are going to take over India. The document admits that the enemy is very strong in urban areas and small towns, which is me and you, the simple middle class people. And to make these situations favorable, it suggests exploring and opening of opportunities, organize people through front organizations, which means all these NGOs and foundations which have come out in open now after yesterday's Greta's expose, which we'll talk very soon. I'm sure all of you know about what Greta Thunberg has done yesterday. She by mistake leaked all these organizations. I have tweeted in detail about all these organizations, how they have been conspiring against India. So these are front organizations. Target the vulnerable group of minorities, which is Muslims, Christians, Sikhs, women, Dalits, laborers, students, and farmers. Through influencers who work undercover for a long time and accumulate strength. The document stresses on uniting the weak and the students and use them as vanguards who can play a direct role in an armed revolution. Armed revolution. Now, friends, you have to understand how this works. The influencers, which come from Bollywood or other spheres of life, media, intellectuals, historians, and most dangerously, the bureaucracy of India. these people have formed a nexus because they are all beneficiaries of 70 years of corruption. Now they form a nexus with the international forces because this leftist media of USA, UK, and primarily the West is always interested in keeping India disturbed because it suits their big corporate, big tech companies. Now, these big tech companies do lobbying, and they actually, as you know, in US, anybody can be bought for lobbying. You just need a price. And here it reminds me of a very interesting story shared by my friend on Drishtikon.com. A man told a woman that I want to have sex with you. She said, "What are you saying?" And he said, "What if I pay you $1 million?" She smiled and agreed. Then he said, "Sorry, I misquoted. Now I'm going to pay you $10. She said, "What do you think? I'm a prostitute?" He said, "No, that we agreed upon earlier. Now I'm just negotiating the price." The moral of the story is, friends, that in this market of morality, in this market of activism, and this market of urban naxalism, everybody is a moral prostitute. Everybody is selling morality, except for the people who are strong patriots and nationalists. People who are not going to compromise on their Hindu faith. This is the only difference. So on one hand, you have people who are morally sold, prostituting, and the people who are very, very rooted in their culture. Now they have found a leader in Narendra Modi who again is rooted. And they don't like this strong, united India, a big Hindu force. This is what Mughals were fighting for 800 years. This is what Britishers fought. This is what the Nehru family, Gandhi family did. In fact, Nehruji in 50s said that you have to walk over my dead body to make it a Hindu Rashtra. Now I want to understand why. I mean, the other people took Pakistan away from you. Communists took education away from you, art, literature, culture away from you, and you just kept sitting. Now, what's your problem with Hindus? Now, this is a long debate, but what happened recently about these Rihannas and Mia Khalifas and all these so-called celebrities who tweeted, in fact, the whole day yesterday I kept saying they are all bought. These people do not even one tweet they will do if they are not paid. This is, you can confirm with any marketing company, any talent management company. And as it happened, last evening, Greta Thunberg's, she by mistake or by planning, she tweeted where all the documents came out in open and all these NGOs got exposed. And what comes out is that behind them are three big forces. Number one, these big tech corporate companies, including Soros and all that, who want to destabilize India. Then the Khalistanis who want to divide India, along with jihadis, China and Pakistan, who basically want to take revenge with India, in nexus with our own urban naxals, whose only ambition is to create a civil war-like situation where they come with armed people and do a revolution like they did in Red Fort. Exactly, that was just a trailer. Be prepared. I had said by 2020 they want to do a civil war, which you are seeing right now. I am telling you in next few years, they are actually going to come with an armed revolution. This is the truth. So all these people have done it as a part of a marketing campaign in the market of moral prostitution. There is no doubt in my mind that this is not going to stop here. This is going to become stronger and stronger and stronger. Now, if you love India, if you love your own culture and civilization, perhaps the only living, surviving civilization in the history of humanity, a civilization with the greatest of family culture, great society, great values, the real human right values which the world is preaching, we practice. If you want it to stay united, it's time for you to be united. It's time for you to expose these moral prostitutes, to write against them and defeat them. And I'll tell you how you can do it. Use the same power of social media which they are using against you. every single day. Do not sleep. Take a pledge and do not sleep unless you write something about the greatness of India, write about how liberal we are, how secular we are by DNA, how inclusive we are, write great things about their propaganda versus our truth. Fill this universe, I have been saying it repeatedly, fill this universe with our greatness and do not leave even one enemy of India unexposed, because in this war of in this info war, in this war of narratives, in this new Mahabharat, if you do not pick up your own weapon, your own arm and destroy the enemy, then you are the biggest adharmi. And in this case, your weapon, your arm is your talent, your skill, your knowledge and your love for your Hindu civilization and for your country, the great Bharatvarsh. Jai Hind.